So we're really excited this morning. How many are attending the RVP DM meeting for the first time? Oh, it's more than I expected. Okay, so it's good. All right. So the good news is this year, and for those who have attended in the past, the format's changed a little bit. We've added some additional time. We want to make sure time on motivation. We want to spend some more time on sales training, and most importantly, we want to spend more time on product. Is that good? Products, right? Every year, you guys tell us, the products are great, the energy is good, the innovations, the technologies, but man, I wish we could have spent a little bit more time on products. So this year, we're going to spend a lot more time. In fact, today, the entire day is dedicated to really three things. One, we want to get motivated. Number two, product. And number three, product merchandising. So the entire day, for the most part, is really going to be centered around product. Okay? That's where we're going to spend the bulk of our time. But let's talk a little bit about motivation, because trust me when I say this, by the time you guys leave the room this morning, you're going to be like a pack of hungry dogs chasing a meat truck. Right? It's because of our guest speaker. Okay? And I want to tell you a little story about our guest speaker. So it's a true story. So as you all know, and by the way, for those who don't know who I am, my name is David Duncan. I handle the marketing for Mohawk Flooring. I've got thank you. What's that?
I realized your mother was here.
Thanks, guys. My team and I've got a great team, right? And we do a whole lot of stuff, right? And it's amazing how fast time travels. But just think of the year so far. So we had a terrific solutions last December, right? And for us, just prepping for solutions is a lot of work. And then, of course, after solution is a whole lot of work. Then we move right into the regional shows. And then for my team, we then actually start focusing on hospitality design in our commercial business. And then move right from that to NeoCon, for the commercial business, which is like the solutions of commercial, right? And all of this happens in the first 4 months of the year, okay? A lot of effort. So come along the, sort of the end of May, we get to Memorial vacation, right? And quite frankly, I needed a little bit of a break. So I took the family down to Florida, and I needed motivation myself. And so I downloaded a couple audiobooks. And one of the books that I downloaded was The 10X Rule. Now, you guys are going to get a copy of this, but when you listen to it on audio, it's 23 hours long. I was at the beach for 5 days. I listened to it twice. Okay? Twice, 48 hours. Okay? I was so unbelievably motivated. I got back to the office Monday morning, 6:30 in the office. All of my direct reports have these big, whiteboards in their office. And on this whiteboard, I put 10X, right? Take massive action, never retreat, dominate everything. I was like going crazy. Everyone came in and was like, what in the hell happened to you on Memorial Weekend? I was like, I read this unbelievable book. You guys have to check this thing out or listen to this incredible book. And so from then on, I knew at some point in my life I would have a relationship with our speaker, who's going to be up here in just a second. And let me tell you a little bit about him. His name's Grant Cardone. He is a New York best-selling author, a contributor on Fox News, CNBC, Forbes. He's recognized in the U.S. as the #1 sales trainer. He's worked with Google, Morgan Stanley, Aflac, Sprint, and of course now, Mohawk. And he's currently working with the Pentagon and the Department of Defense to help soldiers transition back into civilian life. So, are you guys ready to be motivated and trained? Yeah, come on, baby. Let's welcome up Grant Cardone.
You know who you never go on a vacation with, right? Horrible vacation, okay? I want to go have some fun, man. Guy sits there and spends time. I'm glad I'm not his wife. Who are you having sex with, Grant Cardone? 23 hours of audio. Wow, it took this long to find out about you. All right, so my name's Grant Cardone, and I'm here. I'm not really here to motivate you. Okay, I'm here to share with you something that's been very, very valuable to me, my family, my community, and particularly at this age of my life. I'm 57 years old, so I'm starting to figure out, okay, what am I doing now? You know, and have you ever asked yourself that question? Hey, what am I doing? Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm working. You know, I'm going to work. And then Mohawk comes in here, we got to hit our numbers, we got to do this, and a hardscape and a softscape. The people next door, folks, they've been up an hour over there. I walked in and said, well, it's going to be exciting. These people have been at it for an hour, maybe an hour and a half. They're in full gear next door, right? They're trying to solve some kind of cancer problem. You're selling carpet. You know what I'm saying? Is that okay? How do you get excited about that? Because if you're not excited, you're going to get hammered in this marketplace. This marketplace is, how many would agree? This marketplace is moving so rapidly fast right now. Things are changing so fast. Now that speed and frequency is either going to be your friend, and it's going to be a power terminal for you to use, or it's going to be your enemy. It's going to crush you. I couldn't have told you this story 15 years ago. Now, in 2008, how many were in this business in 2008? Good. Do you remember the fear? I remember, I'm in Los Angeles at the time. I live in Miami Beach now, but I was in Los Angeles. My wife is an actress, and I went there to get my wife. I lived in San Diego. I moved to Los Angeles. I said, look, I knew that the woman I wanted to marry was not in San Diego, because I'm a prospector. I prospect. I keep a full pipeline at all times. I'm a salesman, okay? I got out of college in Lake Charles, Louisiana. I'm 23 years old. I got an accounting degree. I spent 5 years to get a degree, and I couldn't get a job. I had a good accounting degree. I get out of college. My dad died when I was 10. He said, hey, before he died, he said, you boys need to go to college. You need to get an education. How many of you believe in education? It can't hurt you. Unless you don't learn anything there, which was my case. I didn't learn anything, but it was still good to be there because I had that confidence about, oh, I did that thing, right? The problem is I couldn't get a job. They didn't teach me how to get a job. They didn't teach me how to sell. They didn't teach me how to market. They didn't teach me how to promote myself. So I get out of college with this piece of paper that nobody really valued. I walk into the marketplace at 23 years old. Remember when you were a kid? What do I do, man? What do I do? I need a job. Couldn't get a job. 24% unemployment. I had my first experience with an economy, this giant beast called economy, right? 24% unemployment in Lake Charles, Louisiana is a refinery town. 1 out of 4 people don't work, okay? It's probably the numbers we have today, right? They just report them differently. I mean, you got people in Mohawk that don't work. Let's keep it real. Y'all want to keep it real? Let's keep it real, man. Look. Oh, man, employment's so good. Half the people don't work. They just get paid. It's like when people quit. When people quit a job, okay, they don't quit that day. They quit 3 months ago, 6 months ago. People just don't have the courage to leave that day. Okay? When you die and they put on your thing, oh, it was December 24th and it was 11 o'clock. You didn't die at 11 o'clock. You've been dying. I know people dead at 23 years old. They don't make it official till they're 80. Right? Right? Yeah. Don't even make it official, man. Look, I get out of college. I have to go sell cars. And I had an accounting degree. I worked for this car dealer. He's like, I said, look, I just finished college. I said, can you give me a job? My uncle told me to come down here. I was in the unemployment line. He said, sell cars, man, you'll make money. I said, man, I didn't go to college to learn how to sell a car. He's like, you're out of work. Your job now is to get a job. So I went to the car dealer. The car dealer said, yeah, I'll hire you. But look, you need to understand this. In this business, you don't need to know anything. In fact, the less you know, the better off you are. Shit, why didn't you tell me that 5 years ago? He said, but in this business, you do need to be excited every day. You need to believe in your product, believe in the company, you need to believe in yourself. How many of you believe that's true? You got to believe in the company. You got a good company? You guys got a good company? Yeah. I knew who Mohawk was when you called me. Like, I know that name. Right? I also know Shaw Industries, and I also know Mr. That Buffett guy. Right? And I also know about this economy. And this economy is brutal. It will punish you. Doesn't care how long you've been doing this business. Doesn't care about hardscape, softscape, commercial, residential. Doesn't care about that. The economy doesn't have any feelings. Would you agree? It doesn't know whether you're black, white, what your religion is, whether you pray, don't pray, who you pray to. It don't care. It's like, hey, Are you showing up every freaking day or not? Doesn't care if you have kids, doesn't care if you're hungry, doesn't care if your parents are sick. And I learned that in 2008. I'd spent 25 years, I've built an unbelievable career for myself. From selling automobiles to building 3 businesses. One of those businesses is a real estate company that owns, this is my 3rd company, is the real estate business, which really takes care of me forever. It's a bunch of commercial real estate around the United States that I invested in. And I built those businesses and I'm thinking, oh man, I'm good. And then 2008 happens, right? And everything, every business I had does this. It just dries up. And I'm sitting in Los Angeles watching TV, and I'm watching that Lehman guy. You remember the pictures, the images of the people walking out with boxes? Man, it is burned in my mind.
All right, guys, we're out of here.
It's like brand, the word brand.